in that series tonight, the Game 3, with the Suns being 3-point road favorites, according to Fox Bet Sportsbook. The Suns also still favored to win the series, despite losing that Game 1 at home, which, surprised a lot of people. Shannon, do you think the Suns have now taken control of this series?
What would make me think that? They don't have a 2-0 lead going on the road. They're tied 1-1.
They are.
Going on the road for 2 games. Now, the Suns are going to have to take at least one of these games to even up home court, to have the home court back in their favor.
That is true.
I think the Suns are in a bit of trouble. The question is, if PG was healthy, would the Suns still be favored? That'd be very interesting to see. Because I think the Suns are favored because PG is out. Kawhi has been sensational. He looks like Toronto Kawhi.
He does. I agree.
I mean, he's averaging 34 and a half, basically 35 points, and the Clippers are going home, and they're 23 and 18 at home. The Suns are going to have to dominate this game with their starting lineup because they do not have the depth that the Clippers have on the bench. So CP3 and Book and Ayton and KD and Torrey Craig are going to have to be plus in order for them to win this game and the series, because you don't really get contributions from your bench. So T.J. Warren, Skip, I told you, he's a shell of himself. Jock Londell, they didn't even play him the other night. You got Bismarck Biyombo, who comes in, but he's not a scorer. He can protect the rim. He gets you some rebounds.
He gave them nice minutes.
Yes, he did.
Very effective minutes.
You just need Ayton to keep building on game 2. Build on that Ayton and give us that and a little bit more in game 3.
Don't overlook Okogie, because he's been a starter much of the year, and he came in the fourth quarter and made some big plays for them.
But it was Torrey Craig. That was rare.
That's who's replaced him in the starting lineup.
Skip, I already know what I'm going to get from KD. I know what I'm going to get from Book. I'm hoping I can continue to get a double-double. I can get 14 and 13, 18 and 12 from Ayton. Also, an unknown that used to be a given is CP3. Because of his age, because of the minutes on those legs, Skip, and they make him work. I mean, Russ just bodies him up. Russ, you can't, you're too little for me. And they make him run, so they make him expend a lot of energy. Terrence Mann picks him up. Highland picks it. Bones Highland just looking to blow by him every chance he gets. So he's also a guy that used to be a known that sometimes becomes an unknown because I don't know which CP3 I'm going to get. Sometimes I might get CP3, a CP5, because he's aging right before our eyes, Skip.
Okay. I hear all you just said, but I'm going to boil down tonight for you to this. It ends up being a big 4 from Phoenix versus a big 1 for the Clippers.
No, ain't no big 1. It's a big 2.
1.
It's 2. He needs number 0.
Number 0 has played way out of his mind and way over his head. Way over his head. I don't even recognize him. I don't know who he is. And I think he will get exposed starting tonight. I think he will revert back in the building where he has gone home to Southern California, where he grew up a Lakers fan, and his dream came true 2 years ago, and he was the starting point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers in this same building that he will be playing in tonight. And it turned into a nightmare for him. And the Lakers did their damnedest to get out from under Russell Westbrook. And then, impossibly, he winds up the starting point guard for the Clippers, the team in the basement. And I give it up to him because he was as good as he's ever been in games 1 and 2. I think that's going to stop tonight. At some point, he's going to try too hard, and he's going to turn back into the turnover nightmare machine that he can be. You know, and I know that's who he really is. And he got away with a 3 for 19 that should have been a 3 for 20 in game 1. And then he was nothing but, I dare say this word, I can't believe I'm putting it in the same sentence with Russell Westbrook. He was efficient. He was careful with the basketball for the most part in game 2. That will stop tonight. Stop
trying to put bad mouth on and put the juju on the man.
I'm not putting juju. I'm predicting. I'm staying ahead of the curve on this. I'm putting it on the line that I wouldn't, if I'm you, I don't trust him, especially starting tonight back home. I saw a tour de force. I saw a showcase of a big 4 from Phoenix because DeAndre Ayton, of whom you have asked many questions, you have many doubts about. he rose and shone, especially in the second quarter the other night, when he kept them afloat. And he played big the other night. He outplayed Big Zoo, who outplayed him in game one.
Correct.
And Durant was Durant. He's always going to be KD. We got it. And then Book was Book to the highest order, because once he got off, once he hit that huge three at the end of the first half, in the third quarter, he went berserk. And it's who he is and what he is highly capable of doing.
For sure.
And then who brought them home? It's the guy that you're calling CP5. It's the guy that you're wondering about age and attrition.
Yes.
And I'm going to show you again the 4 shots that he made in the fourth quarter. And every one of them is a nope, not in my house. Nope, not in my house. Because every time I thought, uh-oh, it looks like the Clippers are about to take a 2-0 lead.
He looked like that CP3 that did it to your Clippers in Game 6 at Staples.
I was just going to bring that up. But if we could see the 4 that he made at home again, this is in Phoenix in the fourth quarter.
That's a difficult shot right there.
That's big time for him. And he doesn't have a lot of lift. He doesn't get up very high. He has to kind of force it up. But that one's over a 7-footer. And it's another one. He's getting up there. And he's shooting with conviction and authority and clutchness that we don't always see from him. But you're right. There was a closeout Game 6 against the Clippers, ironically, when he came into this building where he played for a long time. So he loves the shooting background at what used to be Staples, right? And he walks in the door, and that night against the Clippers in a closeout game when they had no Kawhi, but Paul George was playing playoff P basketball.
Yes.
And it looked like they had a real shot. And they're hanging in and hanging in. He scored 41 total points. He scored 27 in just the last 90 seconds of the third quarter. And the fourth quarter, he scored 27 points. Every time he looked up, he's making another big jump shot. And he was actually jumping and shooting. Okay, he is capable of doing that because he's done that before. He's the one that you can't double cover, obviously, because you're trying to say, should we put 2 on Book or 3 on KD? Or what are we going to do this time? So they tried every possible defense, but no defense includes anything but single coverage on Chris Paul.
But you don't want to double Chris Paul, Skip, because he is a point guard. He's the true definition of point guard, and he's going to pick you apart. So you're going to focus your attention on the 2 scorers, which is KD and Book. And good luck stopping them, because if they get it going, there's nothing you can do. You just hope they miss here and there. You're not stopping them, because you saw Book, Skip, in that third quarter, when he got that 18, he was just taking the ball, they put the ball in his hands, and he's just getting to his spot and elevating. Kevin Durant he wants to spin the corner, get on the edge, and elevate.
Okay, I got it. All I know is that the first game they played together was at Dallas on a Sunday afternoon, KD and Chris Paul. And remember, they were basically triple covering KD. And in the fourth quarter, they were daring Chris Paul to shoot threes. And he made 2 threes and 2 two-point jumpers that turned the tide back in favor of the Phoenix Suns. And I'm saying, he can still do that. Does he get blown by a lot? Yes, he does. But also one other bench point for you. Remember, Cameron Payne has had a back issue that's kept him out. Well, I don't know. They say he's close to returning. Would he be back tonight? If he is, he'll get some key minutes, because I think you agree with me. He's pretty good. Right?
Yeah. But it seems like he's been only good for Monty. You know, Monty brought, he was out of the league until Monty got the job back.
But he's been really good. So he can give Chris some rest that Chris didn't get in the first 2 games.
Definitely needs it.
He needs some rest.
Playing him 39 minutes, that's asking an awful lot.
Asking a lot. So I'm looking for Chris to be much fresher in the fourth quarter tonight if Cam Payne can play, and I think he might.
You leaning Suns?
I'm leaning. I am not leaning. I'm towering Suns. I think the Suns are in control of this series.
And Russ. They trust.
Do they?
They do.
Big trust Russ? Okay. I don't believe you.
I'm saying,
I don't believe you trust him.
Did you see what he did Sunday? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also saw him in the second quarter. He goes up for a shot and completely loses the handle, and it accidentally goes over the rim in, and he gets an and one. And then early in the fourth quarter, I see him attack the rim, and he's got a wide-open dunk by blowing by Chris Paul, and he loses the handle and back irons it. And then late in the game, we might have these, but he had 2 straight turnovers. The game was pretty much teetering on out of control, but he had 2 straight turnovers that weren't The most embarrassing Russ variety of turnovers, Chris actually got his hand on these. He tipped that one up in the air, but he did have that turnover, and then he did have that turnover thanks to Chris Paul. Those are both Chris Paul, who has led the league 3 times in steals. Okay, so I'm saying that Chris will outplay Russ overall tonight.
You think
and
so?
that they will take control. Yeah. Do you love the Clippers? You got them at home?
No. I don't love the Clippers. I don't know if I got Chris Paul out playing Russ, though.
I do. When it matters, fourth quarter, Chris will outplay Russ.
Well, he better.
You like it?
That's the only, but Skip, the only way you guys can win is that you're starters because you don't have a bench.
There's a Biombo's really good. Come on. I mean, I don't know what you're not seeing. Listen, Landry Shamet is really good. He didn't play well the other night, but Campaign can play, and I've told
all he doing is Skip. Landry Shamet, because all he doing is soaking up minutes. He ain't doing nothing.
Okay, well he's pretty good. He's played in a lot of big games.
I've seen him hit some big shots for the Clippers in Brooklyn. I just ain't seen him hit any big one for the Suns lately.
I told you, Okogie was really good all year, and then he lost his starting job just for the playoffs.
And why he do that?
Because Torrey Craig plays such good defense.
Okay, and making shots.
Yeah. Well, Torrey Craig made 2 big threes when it looked like all was lost the other night. I got it.
I mean, you pinning your hopes on Okogie?
No,
I'm
just saying you said they have no bench, and I'm saying, well, I just gave you 4 bench players.
Yeah, like I said, they got no bench. So okay, Norman Powell. So okay, I'm gonna take Norman Powell. I'll take Terrence Mann. I'll take a Plumlee. And you want your bench? You want Shammy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're stuck with Russ.
Hey, has Russ been playing well? Yes or no?
Would you like to put a case on the Clippers?
I don't like the Clippers. I want them to go home.
Okay. I'm just telling you what I know about Russell Westbrook. History will tell you that his time is running out for playing at this level.
Russ?
That he will revert back to what he was for your Lakers. Yep.
Well, as long as they go home, I want them to go home.
Yeah. Okay.
And we're going to move on.
Well, you seem to be heavily leaning Clippers, but you won't put your due where your mouth is.
Kawhi.
Yeah.
Kawhi been a monster.
Okay, well, you can have him. I'll do a case.
Now, that's your guy. Kawhi's your guy.
He used to be.
What you mean used to?
I picked the Clippers before the season until they wrong-headedly added Russ after you got out from under Russ. I've never seen anything like it before.
You spent 2 years talking about the keychain and this Kawhi towel, and he done took over.
Yeah.
Now you done turned your back on him.
Because of Russ. Russ.
What they got to do with him?
Well, it'll be the reason they lose. I love Kawhi, and I think he'll play big tonight, but it's going to be 4-on-1. and Russ will be the reason they lose tonight instead of the reason they won game 1.
Well, it's been 4-on-2 because Russ been playing well.
Okay. Well, you can have them for a case if you want them.
I ain't made no Suns. No Clippers.
Okay.
I want them. I'm rooting against them.
I don't think you are, but that's okay.
I really am. We need them to stay in the basement.
I think you fear the Suns.
Nah, because I ain't got time for Clipper down to be on my timeline.
I'm hoping your Lakers last long enough to get to the Suns, and then we'll see what happens.
I don't think they're gonna rise. We get those. I don't think it's gonna rise. They're gonna set the West.
Okay, here we go.
Guys, here's how effective Kawhi has been in the first 2 games of this series, averaging 69 points when you combine them and shooting almost 55%. Certainly at the top of the Suns' defensive scouting report.
I know a guy that did that for the
Shannon,
entire playoffs.
Let's talk a little bit about your Lakers. How did they lose to the Grizzlies when Memphis was without Ja? I need you guys to dive into this one when we come back.